Sitting really neatly in front of me at the moment are the brand new Longines Hydroconquest Quartz. And in today's video, we're going to be dissecting these models, talking about everything that you need to know about these models, and also drawing some comparisons between these models and the automatic version. By the way, the comparisons, they're pretty cool. All right, so first things first, these models come in at 42 millimeters in diameter. Now, they only come in at 42 mil. And I know that when people talk about the automatic variant, they come in at 39 or 42, but these ones only come in at 42. Now, I caveat that with at the moment, because I think what's going to happen is Longines will release 39 mil models. It's just a matter of time. They come in at a beautiful 11.3 millimeters in thickness, which is just awesome. And it makes it wear so much better because it is that little bit more bulky. Now, interestingly, when we compare this to the Longines Hydroconquest Automatic, it actually isn't that much thinner for being a quartz model. So the automatic variant comes in at 11.7 millimeters in thickness, whereas this is 11.3. And typically what happens when brands release quartz models is the dimensions just aren't as good because the brand essentially wants you to buy the more expensive model, which is the automatic. But it seems what Longines have done here is keep the dimensions as tight and as good as possible, even in the quartz. And you can really see this when it comes to the lug to lug. So the lug to lug on this model comes in at 51.2 millimeters. And interestingly, on the automatic variant, bearing in mind this is the 42 mil automatic variant, it has the exact same dimensions. And I like that. I like the fact that Longines aren't playing tricks to make you want the more expensive option. They're simply giving you an affordable alternative that still feels just as good. These models come in stainless steel, and there's a bunch of variations that you can choose, or you have PVD. So here we have PVD yellow gold, but here in my left hand, we have PVD rose gold. The rose gold actually looks really, really nice with the blue. I think I prefer that over the yellow gold variant, but it's nice that you have options to play with. The glass on these models is scratch-resistant sapphire crystal glass with several layers of anti-reflective coating on both sides. Now, I know that is a pro and a con because typically what happens is when you put AR coating on the outside, it can scratch that little bit easier than just having the sapphire crystal glass. I would also caveat that, I feel like caveat's going to be the buzzword of the video, but I would also caveat that by saying I have an Amiga Seamaster 300 meters. I've had it for years and years and years. It is the king. And it has the same anti-reflective coating on the front. And I don't have one scratch on it. And I've really put that through the wars. So it is still really durable, but technically speaking, yeah, it could be an issue. These are water resistant up to 300 meters, have a screwed down crown to support that. The bezel on here looks and feels really, really premium. It's really, really good. Listen to this. Oh, sometimes for a watch guy, the clicks on a bezel are so underrated. And these clicks, these little... they just are so clickable. They're so ADHD play with it, and I love that. But what I would say about the bezel is it seems a little bit more springy than the original, the Hydroconquest Automatic. I'm not really sure why that is, but it just seems that little bit more springy. By the way, this one is for the OGs on the channel that remember when we actually used to do this. But it's time for the wrist check. What is on your wrist today? Please let me know in the comments as that watch follows. I'm currently wearing the Tudor June White Ranger. This is the 36 mil variant. I actually got this to celebrate 100,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for that. And yeah, let me know what you have in the comments on the wrist. I know that Longines is popular. I know that Tudor's popular. I know that Amiga's popular. What wins in the comments? I do wonder. Now, you have a couple of different dial variations to choose between and also color variations when it comes to stainless steel and PVD gold or rose gold. And it's really good that they've released so many because you can kind of mix and match and choose which one suits you. The movement in all of these watches is hidden behind the closed case back, and the closed case back has that Longines kind of motif on there. It is a quartz movement and it's the caliber 157.3. It has hours, minutes, seconds, and a date window at the 3 o'clock mark as per the original Longines Hydroconquest. See, from a glance of this, just by looking at it, you wouldn't be able to tell that it was quartz. And that's interesting because typically speaking, brands do things that you can kind of tell that they're quartz just from a, immediate look. But I wouldn't really be able to tell unless I got up close and saw the hand was ticking instead of flowing, which is cool. The bracelet on all of these models feels really, really premium, and you do have a deployant clasp at the bottom here. Now, you don't have the option of a mesh bracelet as you do with the original or the new Hydroconquest that has come out. But again, I would caveat that with not yet. Typically what brands do is they don't want to give you everything at once, because that would just ruin the hype. They want to drip feed you, keep you on the hook. So I'd anticipate in the future, there's probably going to be a 39mm variant of these, and also they're going to upgrade to a mesh. I say upgrade, I mean, it's definitely personal preference, but the mesh bracelet did look really, really cool on the automatic variant. So I would guess that they would add this in eventually. But alternatively, what you could do, because the lug width is exactly the same, it comes in at 21mm in lug width, you could technically just replace the bracelet with the mesh strap of the automatic. So you could buy the automatic strap and just put it on the quartz. Before we get onto the price, let's talk about the dials. So the dials on these watches are flat, just as the other Hydroconquest, and they have big, bold hour markers that are caked and filled with super luminova. At the 6 o'clock mark, we have the Hydroconquest 30 bar, which is 300 meters of water resistance. And obviously at the 12 o'clock mark, we have the iconic Longines logo. At the 3 o'clock mark, we have the date window. I personally, you guys know what I'm going to say here. Would it not look better at 6 o'clock? Am I the only guy that thinks this? Now, interestingly, something else that they haven't carried over from the automatic variant is the micro extensions on the bracelet. So you can't do that as easy as you would, because on the new variants, they're kind of on the fly. But again, you're paying a lot less. And I do think this is a strategy that we're seeing from Longines, and we will see from other brands because of everything going on in the world. It's because of fuel going up. And I actually made a whole video on this previously about the quartz crisis, and I hate to say I told you so, but I think it's happening. I think brands are leaning more towards affordability and high end, and what's happening is the mid-tier is getting eroded because of the costs. People are just getting priced out and can't afford the mid-tier now, so we're going either below, and the rich who can afford it anyway will still go high. So I think Longines are adapting the same strategy. I think they're releasing more affordable watches so that people can enter into a more affordable price range, and they don't want people to be priced out. I mean, God, see, when we just think about Longines' run over the last 2 years, it's kind of insane. I mean, they had the new Hydroconquest, they had the new Conquest, they had the new Conquest chronograph. They have just had literally banger after banger after banger after banger after banger, and the watch guys love it. And I think that's why they kind of won Watches and Wonders without even being there. I mean, I actually uploaded a video on the winners of Watches and Wonders, and the top, I mean, I'll put them up here, but the top comment, all of them where Longines won it even though they weren't there. This watch comes in at £1,350. Now, when you compare that to the automatic that comes in at £2,050, that's on the mesh bracelet, you're talking about, and my maths isn't great, you're talking about £600 to £700 worth of difference, which is kind of huge. But enough of what I think about these watches. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you did enjoy, or follow our Instagram at Chisholm Hunter Watches, or my Instagram at HB Lifelens, or the podcast, the Into the Mind podcast. And I'll see you guys real soon.